The winner of Best Institutional Architecture Award from Berg, Singapore, Redbridge International Academy is the proud host of a huge campus that is spread across a lush green environment. A refreshing view to wake up to or to walk into, Redbridge is a campus that helps its students reconnect with nature. The refreshing and scenic atmosphere is rejuvenating for the mind and body, making education a whole new experience for the students. Redbridge has a state-of-the-art infrastructure, a biodiversity park, a combination of wide open spaces, abstract designs on colorful walls, well-ventilated classrooms with smart boards, and fully equipped science labs. The school has a library, a robotics room, math labs, and computer labs, available for all students from primary to high school.
When I first came into this school, I loved the infrastructure and there's a lot of greenery.
The school has dedicated spaces for learning music, dance, drama and art. This makes every day at Redbridge an enriched experience for the students. The school emphasizes on academic rigor and excellence in mainstream subjects, specifically English, math, science and computers, along with co-curricular activities. The spacious campus has professional indoor and outdoor facilities for all major sports and co-curricular activities, including facilities for athletics, football, cricket, basketball, badminton, tennis, table tennis, handball, throwball, karate, yoga, skating, billiards and squash. Swimming and horse riding are outsourced. The students develop a passionate attitude and have a healthy, cheerful personality essential to succeed in life. Redbridge has embarked on an innovative educational mission that is truly the defining factor in shaping our students for a successful career. Conventional education is transactional, while the education at Redbridge is transformational. Students, irrespective of their academic background, are transformed in their minds and bodies as they evolve in rigorous academic as well as co-curricular learning. Students have the option to choose from a wide variety of subject areas with a choice of different curriculum and qualifications. Academic focus.
Parents, teachers, children, well-wishers, welcome. Redbridge International Academy proudly presents the webinar, Social Media Platforms and Children's Interface, Pitfalls and Frauds to Beware, with expert Mr. Devang Dave, founder, Social Central Media Solutions, founder, The Fearless Indian, executive director at Navayuvak Entrepreneurs, member, Government Board on IT Industry, and key in charge of Prime Minister Modi's social media. In the last 2 months, Redbridge organized 2 webinars as part of its community outreach program. Homestay issues in children during the pandemic with expert psychotherapist and children's counselor, Mrs. Namrata Navalkar, and COVID in children, curiosity answered with key speaker, the renowned pediatrician, Dr. Manu Chowdhury. We got favorable feedback from the participants for these webinars, and so we are back with another. And just as before, the topic is very current and in our face, so to speak, the gargantuan social media. Agreed that social media has 2 faces, just like a rupee coin, but which face is the crybaby craving for our attention, for the youth's attention? How is it getting that attention and keeping it? What can we do to see we keep it where it belongs and follow social distancing in this cyber world? Our expert for today, the multifaceted, young, dynamic Mr. Devang Dave is here to talk to us on social media platforms, their impact on kids and adolescents, the common frauds and pitfalls, and how to be aware of them. Mr. Dave himself will set the context for this webinar once he starts his presentation shortly. Mr. Dave, a computer science and engineering graduate from the University of Mumbai, is youth inspiration personified. He has devoted himself to public life via his political participation and providing technology training to the masses for empowerment. With the philosophy, more the problems you face in life, the more experience you gain in life, he devotes his time to political commitments and entrepreneurial duties. Devang is an advocate of Modi ji's Digital India initiative and works towards greater digital inclusion for all. Like a formal UN Secretary General believed, if technology cannot be made to work for all, it can work for none. Devang's unique initiative, Navayuvak, focuses on colleges as a startup hub to promote the future growth of entrepreneurs. Let me end his introduction. Of course, it's by no means in any justice to him, but I just thought I could say a few words. So let me end his short introduction by pointing out his personal motto: give me an adventure and I'll ride it, be it life, be it sport. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I now present to you the inimitable Mr. Devang Dave. Over to you, sir.
Namaskaram. I think, Raghavendraji, that was a long and great introduction. By no means I would have achieved all of this without the support of people of our country. Here, I would like to thank Sumitraji for making me part of this initiative. It has always been an important aspect in my life to impart training to as much as people possible, whether be it startup or be it into cybercrime and social media awareness. Well, every one of us, almost every one of us is using this new big tech called social media in our day-to-day lives. It is also very important for everybody of us to know that there is an other side to the story as well. I would like to thank the management of Redbridge School. They have taken these initiatives for an awareness for the school kids and their parents, also the schooling staff, that how to overcome the challenges that the new world has given us. I will start with my short presentation. Let us make this more of an interactive. Whenever you feel that anybody has a question, please do not hesitate to raise up your hand. We shall take your questions. Then and there is also a question answer session in the end. But if there is anything specific what I'm talking about and there is anybody who wants to ask, we will start it that way as well. Let me start with a short presentation. Social media pitfalls to avoid in the 21st century. Everybody knows we use Facebook, we use Twitter, we use Instagram, we use WhatsApp, we had used TikTok, so many platforms, so many things, so many new initiatives to do. And it's all in all to be stay connected and to let everybody in our society know what we are doing. And that's the charm of social media. So for that, we need to understand what all we will be going through today is introduction to know what is social media, why social media has become so important in our life, the impact, the power of social media, some certain guidelines, the other side of the story, and is social media a boon or the villain? However, we can make it best for us. Steps to avoid certain risk, steps to avoid how cybercrime can come to us, come to our home, we will not even know. So we'll go through some basic steps on how that can be avoided. So let me take you to a brief introduction. Is very important. Sometimes everybody says that, you know, everything is common sense, but let me say, common sense is not so common anywhere in the world. We might know everything, but still there are some things we might miss out. And that's where we come to the basics to start with on what is social media. Any technology which uses a computer or a web-based platform to make interaction between people possible could be a well potential social media platform. Anything that connects you to another person in a virtual world is a part of social media. So either you use blogging, you use social gaming. These days you have games wherein you interact with people and you play games. That is also part of social media. You share your personal videos, photos, everything that you do on the internet, some or the other way, wherein you connect with somebody else, is part of social media. So it is not different in sense of many of people have believed that only Facebook, Twitter are part of social media, other platforms might be, might not be. It is not that. Anywhere you connect with other people, that absolutely everything comprises of social media. Social media penetration users across the world, we believe that almost about 60% of the world is today connected to each other on social media. So there is another parallel world. These are some recent statistics that has come out, but it's another parallel world out there. The problem, the good part is, first I'll tell you, it connects everybody of us, it brings us closer. But the problem is somewhere that we only have a different character in person and a different character on what we show on social media, because it's a two different world. A person lives two different life in these days. Yes, that's true. Whether you believe or you don't believe, that is absolutely true, that in personal life you have one particular life. On digital, if you go and look back through your own profile, you will identify itself that you are living another life on social media, people. So this is a challenge, and let's see how we should overcome this. Going back to knowing the importance of social media, we need to also see that what is the history of our communication and how did social media become so powerful in less than a decade's time almost. So if you see, there were times when there were Raja Maharajas in our country or across the globe. If they wanted to communicate something to people, they used to send their communication messengers to every villages. They used to have big bhongas to gather people, and then the message was communicated that Rajas and Maharajas have this to communicate to the citizens of the kingdom. Secondly, technology got a little bit advanced. We saw newspapers coming in. First, it was a newspaper once a month. It got advanced 15 days, 7 days, and then we had daily newspapers, which used to tell us that what is happening in the world around us. It got more advanced. We got radio communication. So whatever is happening in the world came to us through radio every evening, every hour. So that's what, but in all of this, we did not see much photos. Photos were part of newspapers, but there was no video. We did not knew what is happening, where it is happening in detail. The things got more modern. We had communication into what you say is television. We got to see videos. We got to see what is happening, where is it happening, So that's how the communication history has been in the world at large. But the biggest problem with all of this communication across the world was all of this part was a one-way communication. Whatever had happened across the world came to us. We might have a different opinion about things. Whatever an incident that has happened at certain sites, somebody might have seen it, and it might be reported rightly or wrongly. In as we say, every coin has two sides. The other side never came out to the people. And that's where social media gave every one of us a power to say what we feel, to a power to show to people what we believe, or a power to connect with every individual across the world on a personal as well as a public platform. So, it has been a great journey of all communication, and only the importance of social media has become because it is a two-way communication. All of this, if you see the one-way communication, what certain people, company or newspaper or radio news channel believed they showed you, they never took a feedback from you. So today you see, you maintain a personal account. Some parents might have, say for example, they are businesses to run, they have business, well, I have a different account, and you cater everything on a single platform. And yes, it's two-way. You not only communicate to your potential family members or your business entities or your customers, but you also take feedback. Also, your family members, whenever they like your photo, whenever they comment on your photo, we all get excited, what people are talking about us. And we have today an urge that everybody should talk about us. The impact, why it is so big, where I say there is a parallel world. In India, we have more than 330 million users on Facebook itself, 340 million using WhatsApp for their communication, and about 73 million people who use Twitter to communicate with the world, with people, interact with people. You see, the parallel world is outright there. We are living two lives almost. One is physical and other is digital. To start with, some very general guidelines. Think before you post. This is for very specifically for all the students. I want to say 100 times, digital world is a world that there is no button called delete. Everything you put there is either taken in record by a screenshot or either taken in record by storing into some archive server. Even if you delete, it is very easy to undo that for people who want to create trouble for you. Very important. Anything you write in public domain on the digital world, think twice, think thrice. There might be things that you want to say. Either you pick up the phone, call up the person and you inform them, or put up into a one-on-one chat if possible. But when you put it publicly, make sure and believe that everybody in your friend circle is going to see that and it's going to stay there for long. Do not, never ever abuse. This is very important because sometimes in our friendship circles, we might have friends, we might create small kinds of enemies, or we might have people whom we don't like. We might have an opinion that others has telling and we don't like. Never ever abuse. Today, everybody of you all are at very initial stage of your life. Tomorrow, when you grow up, the same thing, if you grow up into a gentleman, you grow up into a good human being, still, if you have done some mistakes which people might have taken screenshots or have something to relate to, they will haunt you back in the earlier stages of your life that, you were writing this at that particular point of time, which may not be right, which you may not agree as you grow up. So it is very important that, you never ever abuse publicly anywhere on any of the public social media platforms. And third, and most important, that we do in most of our WhatsApp groups is bombard with a lot of information, a lot of content, a lot of photos. We go to party, we go to friends, we meet people, we might travel somewhere. Make relevant information only shareable to the groups. You might go somewhere, put couple of photographs for people to understand that yes, you're doing something, you're going somewhere, you're learning something, you're using some new gizmos. But make sure that you don't put a lot of photographs or a lot of content or long write-ups to people. We have a tendency to forward a lot of things to WhatsApp groups. Because if you keep bombarding, slowly and steadily, people will lose interest in you, people will lose interest in your content. So keep yourself relevant, keep your content relevant to people on why you are sending, how you are sending, and so that you will also become relevant. Never ever bombard anything on social media. Some guidelines specifically for individual platforms. For Facebook, avoid sharing sensitive contents on Facebook. Do not share your views on almost all controversial topics without consulting either with your parents or somebody of an authority in your house, or whom you believe would have more detailed knowledge about the subject. Do not share too many personal details. I will tell you with one particular example what happened a couple of years before in Mumbai. There was a young girl. Her parents went out for a couple of days. She was very happy. She thought that I will inform all of my friends that, I will have a party tonight at our place. She put up a post on Facebook that, nobody is at my home. I am home alone. She was hardly in her early 20s. And let's do party tonight. She had no idea whom she is inviting at her place. So whatever you do on your social platforms, you believe that there are a lot more people, those whom even if you don't want are watching you, are watching your content. And similarly with this young girl came a horrific incident when after a couple of hours few of her friends came to her place. They started chilling out at a place, and in some time when they ordered some food from a restaurant, they had some uninvited guest at her place. They tried to create problems, but luckily the neighbors were alert. They got to know something wrong is happening, and the unwanted guests were caught red-handed, trespassing their house, creating ruckus or even more problems in the house. So, how a small happy moment can turn into a nightmare is something that we need to understand, that what we put on Facebook, avoid sharing sensitive things, either you are home alone, avoid sharing that nobody is at home, avoid sharing, anything which you think that somebody might able to reach out to you over the same. So it's very dynamic situation out there. There are a lot of people watching you, even maybe stalking you or something. So it's important, be very generic in what you share and not too personal in what you share. Avoid your passwords details with anybody. This is specifically for students, my dear friends. Today we might have friends, we share passwords for some of our use or even in fun, and sometimes those friends might put something not relevant or something which has potential to harm from your, or even a part of fun which you might not like on a later stage, and then you might regret sharing that password. So please, it's a humble request, username password should not be shared with anyone in your friend circles also. Twitter. Now Twitter is something like more of a two-way sword. Twitter is news making industry in our country and across the globe. So whatever you tweet, it is taken very fast by a lot of people, influential people in the society. So do not, the Twitter is specifically for having a day-to-day comment are going and happening around us. So it is very important that if there is a controversial topic and if we have an opinion, we definitely take a second opinion with our elders to consult whether you should put it on public platform or not, because there are things that might backfire. There are things which you might not know the other side of the part, or there are a lot of propagandas that goes on Twitter as a platform. So have thorough knowledge of before writing, before tweeting, before having your opinion on the particular subject. A little bit of research will always be good. Again, never share your credentials with anyone. Twitter has a lot of influence in the society, so sharing your credentials is risking your credibility as well, because some unwanted tweet from your profile might come and haunt you back, that even if it is not your opinion, even if it is not a thing that you wanted to share, somebody else shares on behalf of your name, it can bring you a lot of bad name. Very important, many people on Twitter believe that retweeting is like, they write on their profiles that retweets is not equal to endorsement. It is very easy to write that, but when you see something, if you like it, then only you will share it across your friends and followers, otherwise you will not. So mentioning on your profile that RT is not equal to endorsement does not take you off the liability of what you have endorsed or what you have amplified to your friends and followers. It's very important, whatever you tweet or either retweet, either it is controversial or it is sensitive, have thorough and detailed information before you go through tweeting or retweeting stuffs on Twitter. Instagram, think before posting pictures on Instagram. A lot of times, so I'll tell you a small story of why Instagram got so popular, and tomorrow in future Snapchat might have more popularity than Instagram. We all at a young age started coming on a social media platform called Facebook. Youth started sharing photos of how they are bunking classes and going out, having fun, having parties. After a couple of years, we saw our parents coming on Facebook, we saw our uncle and aunts coming on Facebook. So youth wanted a space that, what is this, everybody in my family is now adding me into my Facebook friend. There was a peer pressure that if I add these people, I cannot share photographs of my friends with friends on Facebook, I cannot share certain times which we might have, we might call it as, friends group circle photographs, and we don't want our parents or somebody to know. So they jumped to Instagram because that was a little bit more new of a platform, and we had lot more. Even in today's time, lot many parents might not have an Instagram account. So youth jumped the ship from Facebook to Instagram, and that's how it is important for parents also to stay put on all the social media platforms that their kids are going on to. So as soon as the kids hop, in couple of time, the parent should have information of what the platform is, what the platform's purpose is, and how it could be used. So parents is also, for parents, it is very important to know the platforms individually so that they can have a, not exactly track, but they can have a think about, whether the child is not going into the wrong direction, because there are a lot of apps which might take a young adolescent, a guy or a girl, to a wrong platform. So it's very important for students what kind of photos you post today. When you grow up tomorrow, you might not like somebody coming to you and saying that, look, this is your childhood photo and what you were doing at that time. So be rest assured of what you are putting is going to stay there for life, even if you delete it. Some of your friends might have taken screenshot, downloaded it, keep it for later, to make fun of you at a later stage in life. So only put which you are sure of on the platform. Be cautious before liking pictures on Instagram. You might like a lot of photos. You might not think that anybody else knows whether you have liked it or not. And that's how the platform works. If you like a photo of your friend, 10 of your friends will come to know that you have liked this photo, because Instagram wants that next 10 to like that photo because so and so has liked it. You might have seen suggestions that your friend so and so has liked this photo, and it pops in front of you, and you feel like, oh wow, this is a nice, great photograph. You go and like it. Then it will show it to next 10 of your friends, and sometimes that may bring embarrassment to you. So it is not that liking is something called personalized. Liking is also public, and everybody can know which photographs you have liked and not. Again, the same thing, never ever share your credentials with anyone. Facebook and Instagram can be connected as well. So it's also very important that you don't share your Facebook or either Instagram password, because the person might have access to both of your accounts at the same time. General guidelines. This is specifically when there is a small party at your place, or you are having an event at your home. That's how you can do it. You use more of an images if you want to invite your friends and families to home. If there is some occasion coming up, you can use more of a photographs. You can be more innovative. Events could be posted in three ways. For example, pre-event. What is before the event? You can put certain details. During the event, if there is a small event in somebody's place, you can put certain photographs that so and so event is going on at our place. We welcome. This is specifically when parents are involved. A small get together is involved at the home, at somebody's home or a place. And that could be a post-event stage wherein you put a brief about how the event and how great it was. So this is something generic on how you can plan into an event and going on to a digital platform. Similarly, like how Redbridge International did this, that before having this event, they posted it on their website, they posted it on their social media handles, and post this program. They might even post, how the program went and the feedback from the parents and teachers. So it brings a lot of more engagement to a particular event. Before starting the bane of social media, I would like to introduce or share one video with everybody. It's a 2-minute video. I'm not sure how many. There is a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma, and I believe that whenever you all find time, either the parents and the students should watch that movie. It's a small short 1.5 hour movie, and very important. I will just highlight 2 minutes of a video of that particular documentary, which will tell you that what social media's other side is, and then we will get into a particular conversation into the details. Is the video audible?
No, Devang.
Just
when you're screen sharing, Devang, you'll get an option on the bottom left to also share your sound. So you'll have to enable that.
okay. Let me check. I will screen share again. Oh yes, share sound.
When you go to Google and type in climate change
We can hear the sound.
you're going to see different results depending on where you live and the particular things that Google knows about your interests.
That's not by accident, that's a design technique. What I want people to know is that everything they're doing online is being watched, is being tracked. Every single action you take is carefully monitored and recorded.
A lot of people think Google's just a search box and Facebook's just a place to see what my friends are doing. What they don't realize is there's entire teams of engineers whose job is to use your psychology against you.
I was the co-inventor of the Facebook like button.
I was the president of Pinterest,
Google,
Twitter, Instagram.
There were meaningful changes happening around the world because of these platforms. I think we were naive about the flip side of that coin.
We get rewarded by hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth.
A whole generation is more anxious, more depressed.
I always felt like fundamentally it was a force for good. I don't know if I feel that way anymore.
Facebook discovered that they were able to affect real-world behavior and emotions without ever triggering the user's awareness. They are completely clueless.
Fake news spreads 6 times faster than true news. We're being bombarded with rumors.
If everyone's entitled to their own facts, there's really no need for people to come together. In fact, there's really no need for people to interact.
We have less control over who we are and what we really believe.
If you want to control the population of your country, there has never been a tool as effective as Facebook.
We built these things and we have a responsibility to change it.
The intention could be, how do we make the world better?
If technology creates mass chaos, loneliness, more polarization, more election hacking, more inability to focus on the real issues,
we're toast.
This is checkmate on humanity.
So this was a small thing on how everything is tracking on you. Make time for yourself so that you can watch this documentary in detail, which will give you a lot more details on how these platforms get back to you. I call this as sad generation with happy faces. Why is it so? In real life, every one of us goes through ups and downs. In real life, every one of us faces challenges. But you flip to the digital side. Everybody is happy. Everybody is going somewhere. Everybody is eating good food. Everybody is having a gala time all the time. And that's when it triggers us as a students and as an individual to think that, you know, all my friends are happy. All my friends are going out and having some good time. All my friends are having going to a great restaurant. All my friends are going on a trip every fine day. What am I doing? We think this sitting at home. This is how the social media platform acts. Let me tell you, every one of you might have, on an average in India, we have 200 to 300 friends in our Facebook profile. Out of 300 friends, there will be at least 5 friends every day which will go out for a dinner, at least 2 or 3 friends who are traveling across the country, 1 or 2 friends who is traveling to some beautiful destination. Now, everybody and you are sitting at home. Now, say for example, take a month. Every month, you also might be going to a restaurant once in a while. You also might be going to a beautiful picnic or a destination or a tour once in couple of months time, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Similarly, your friends are doing it only once in a while. But because every day you see 3 new friends doing it, every day you see 5 new friends traveling, 2 new friends going to Himalayas or some beautiful beaches, you believe that everybody is having a gala time, everybody is enjoying, and what am I doing sitting at home? That's not true. You are made to believe that, and that's how your purchases, your behavior is been affected by this social media platform. You sit at home, you have that sad, grumpy face about your friends. But my dear friends, those friends are also traveling only once in a while. Those friends are also going to restaurants only once in a while. It's just that you are seeing new photographs every other day, and that's why you're made to believe that everybody is happy and you are alone sad home. And that's why I call it as sad generation with happy faces. Misuses of social media, yes, that's true. For individuals, we tend to use social media as a very positive platform for to keep our in touch with our friends, families. But yes, as in our society, as much as we have 18, 19, 95% good elements, we have 2 to 5% of bad elements in our society. So is on the social media platforms. There might be a couple of people or couple of percentage of people who are looking to bring harm to you, who are looking to reach out to you so that they can do some mischief with you, so they can do some frauds with you. So there are people, similar people, which are available on social media, and that's where we need to be aware of whom with we engage, how much we engage, and how we engage with unknown people and strangers on social media. What are some serious issues related to social media usages? And that's majorly we have in our school or college times. One most important is cyberbullying, wherein your friends might bully you, your friends or colleagues might harass you in terms of that they will put certain photographs on social media, they might blackmail you over something. Absolutely, you should not be worried about if somebody is bullying you. Please reach out to your seniors within your school or at your home, and make sure that you inform it so that the problem can stop before it grows on you. Second thing is hacking. If you share your passwords, if you share your phones, if you share your computers with your friends, please be aware that your hacking is a possibility. We will get into details on how hacking is done and how you should avoid it. Third thing is most important for kids is addiction. We have games like PUBG and other games which we feel addicted to because we have our friends joining in from their home or their computers and their mobile phones playing together. It's great way to communicate and be with each other, but also it could be very addictive in nature. Frauds and scams, you might be lured into buying something which is not real. There might be certain information which will drag you to unwanted websites. Security issues, as I mentioned, that if you are home alone and if you are putting out in public domain that if you are home, I am home alone, you could end up having unwanted guests at your place. And most important, reputation. Today you all are kids, tomorrow you will grow up, but your social profile will remain the same. And tomorrow your friends, colleagues, people who may not like you can bring up things what you have done which might not be right and you might not be aware of now, but later stage in the life they will bring you that look what you were doing at that point of time. That's how it harms your reputation. Cheating and relationship issues, yes, in adolescence and especially in the early ages, we tend to believe that whoever talks nice to us makes we are falling in love with the people. That's not true all the time on social media. Health issues, yes, it brings a lot of depression sometimes, and social media glamorizes drugs and alcohol. We all need to be very aware of. It might be a very cool photograph to have a beer bottle in our hand and posing in a particular place, and the photo might look great, but it's not great for your health nor for your body. So it's very important you never glamorize alcohol or use it in your real life. And last but not the least, social media causes death. Yes, that's true. That has happened to many people in our country and many people across the globe. We will have a small case study. There was a game called Blue Whale. This game was nothing but controlled by certain people into challenging you at your young age. Whenever we are young, we have hot blood in our body and we like to accept challenges and overcome it and show to the world around us that, I am capable of doing anything. And similarly, this was a game wherein people or the young people were challenged onto doing obnoxious things, onto doing something over a 50-day period. And ultimately, on the 50th day or the last point, people were asked to die live on the webcam, which is absolutely horrible. So, there are administrators who will tell you what to do, how to do, and then they will start controlling you. If you don't do, they might call you that you are a coward. They might call you that, you are not part of our society, or make you feel outside the world. And that's where this game gets dangerous. These are certain things how we had young children. It starts as soon as clapping, twice a day, or do something 5 times in a week, and then ultimately asks you to jump off of a building or something like that. So anything and everything that comes through you on social media, absolutely, there is no need to believe it. If there are any doubts, please reach out to your parents, school teachers, or anybody elderly in your family whom you can have consultation. Anytime if you feel that you are stuck somewhere, do not hesitate to talk to people around you. This is a world which you might feel shameful after a couple of days, but it is very easy that your friends and families and school will help you come out of that situation. Never bear on social pressure that is created online. Very important for kids who are, growing up now. We all look for companionship. Today's day, there is a fad that, everybody should have a girlfriend or boyfriend, or even our friends will tease us with somebody, and then the social peer pressure grows on us. And what happens is we start looking for companionship online. Online, believe me, not everything that is presented in front of you is true. Not every person whom you might match, whom you might talk, are maybe true on the other side. Photographs might be distorted. Photographs might be even, fake ones. And there might be some scammer who is chatting with you, being good to you, to win your confidence, to, gain something for you. So this is the most simple scam that is taking place, and it is affecting hundreds of youth on a daily basis. How these scams work? A cyber criminal will create a fake profile. They will start talking to you, and you will feel that, the relation between you all is going good. You are liking it. He gains your trust, and then he will ask you either, it start as small as that my mobile balance is over. Can you please send me a 200 rupees to 2000 rupees and then lakhs of rupees? And if you don't do, they might even, blackmail you that, I will share our chats on some platforms to your friends, to your families, and bring shame to you. And then the pressure grows on us. We put in and we give them what they want. So be rest assured, never get into such scam. Don't believe the people, whatever they are saying online has to be true all the times. And after you send the money, the person might even vanish from your life, from everybody's life, and the money is also gone. So this is easiest way how students specifically are tricked into scamming. How do you spot the scammer? If you are approached somebody on the social media app, please look for poor English, whether they are talking to you, whether they are familiar to you. You can take that photograph on a Google image search and see if similar photographs are available on Google. If it is available, then absolutely it's a fake photograph or taken from somewhere. Irrespective of anything, do not never ever transfer any money to anybody whom you have connected online, how much ever the problem the person might have seen, until and unless you verify the person is true, the problem is real. If you are chatting with somebody whom you think is a sweetheart for a while, and they're, you're looking forward to meet them, and they do not come and meet you, it could be a big red flag to you that, either the person is real or not, or they are just tricking you into some things. Do not visit on links which they send you just for, either for fun or some other traction. They might send you to register to a new website or something. Never ever do that, because that is a trap they are being laying for you. And if somebody requests you for a video chat or something, please be assured, please be sure whether you want to get into that or not, because the other person might be recording your videos, recording your conversations, and tomorrow to again come back and either blackmail you or bring bad name to you. It is very important that you keep in mind before doing all of this, before getting into it. Extortion, blackmail, and shady scams, yes, that's happening in our real life. How it works? Some fine day you might receive a message or an email by certain criminals out of blue, mentioning that they have got some of your personal photographs and they are started to blackmail you from your Google Drive or from your mobile phone. They will just tell you. Now you are afraid. They'll ask you to either send money or do certain things on video call, or even send them getting into bitcoins or any other things that they ask you in return to be saved from embarrassment. It is absolutely, be rest assured that the other person who might have started this might not even have any of your photographs. It's many a time people use this as a fluke. And sometimes if you have posted some of your photographs and then taken down, that might be those photographs which you later believed were not good to be on social media platforms. So whenever you feel that you are been in a part of an extortion racket fixed somewhere, immediately reach out to seniors around you. They will absolutely help you how to come out of it very easily. These people, as soon as you record off to the police or somebody, these same people will vanish, because they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be known that who are the scammers. So absolutely rest assured, reach out to people around you. Social media, the villain, and how it affects our mental health. It's very important because social media day-to-day basis is affecting our mental health. What all it leads to? It leads to depression, leads to intolerance, it leads to conflicts, it leads to withdrawals from daily home activities, or either sometimes it might lead to even hyperactivity. It leads to addiction, mood modifications, attention deficits, and this I'm sure many teachers would be able to notice in the students in a day-to-day life. If a student is behaving in a certain manner, not which is not normal according to that, I believe the teacher should reach out to the student to ask for the problem. What is exactly the student is going through. The student might not be able to share this with parents or somebody, but if somebody gives him confidence of getting him out of the problem, he might well reach out or tell where he is stuck. It is also in today's day, specifically in Corona times when we have not much physical activities, we are all confined to our homes. It is leading to poor posture, because full day we are either in front of a laptop, a TV, or a mobile phone. That's in order to say we are full day in front of a screen. Maximum of our times are in front of that screen, and that's leading to poor posture. Sleeping problems, because a lot of things bring us anxieties. As I mentioned that if you feel all of my friends are having a good time and my parents are not allowing me to go out, you might have that problem onto you, which you yourself are bringing to yourself. Eye strain these days, because we are in front of screen. The screen time, the glare, the brightness. Mobile phone is always in our hand and very close to our eyes. It brings a lot of eye strain and reduced physical activity. In our childhood times, I know I used to go out to play cricket. I used to go out to play badminton, volleyball. But many a times now we see the physical activity in children specifically is reduced. I know in my time, on my holidays and vacations, I used to play for 8 to 10 hours a day. Today's kid, I worry that they don't play for that longer of a time. Everybody wants professional cricket coaches, professional things, but nobody goes and wants to play on the street. And that's how our overall physical activity has reduced, which causes obesity in young adolescents and young children. It brings cardiovascular diseases in long term, and even premature diabetes when they grow up. So it is very important for students, parents to have good physical activity in the home, around the home. Let children have their own space to play, go out and do a lot of activities in this digital world. How can you recognize that people have social media addiction? Very important. Maximum of people today are facing addiction, but they don't even know that they are addicted. So in order to know this, these 6 questions are very necessary. Does your child spend a lot of time thinking about social media or planning to post that, Monday morning I have to post this, Tuesday morning I have to do this, Wednesday evening I will write this to my friends? Is he, she planning too much? Does she feels urge to continuously be on social media, to respond to comments, to look into how many people are liking my photographs or what the world is doing? Or they use the social media to forget personal problems in real life, or often try to reduce the usage of social media without much success. The people are becoming restlessness, afraid these days out of blue, or maybe is this having a negative impact on his or her studies? These are certain things that every parent should observe on their child. Every child should observe in himself that whether social media or their friends which are digitally connected are creating any kind of problems which they think they are not able to overcome in their daily life. What parents need to do is check websites, what kind of websites the child is visiting. The child have a friend in your parents, my dear young friends, because they are one who will always put you onto the right track. Look whether there is a withdrawal from daily activity of the kid. For example, they are not having lunch or dinner with you, or they are not much interacting with parents, or they are in competitive search of friends or girlfriends on online space, because they might not have much interaction in physical life, because just because of this corona the things are increasing even faster. Are they sharing too much of information on social media, which might not necessarily that wherever you go and everything is posted on social media? Is there a negative influence on education? Are the numbers deteriorating, or the interference real life with communication? Is the child communicating less with the parents in any way? Or if he or she is continuously having tiredness or irritated all the time, or mood swings? These are some things which is driven by this digital world, and everybody needs to ensure that the digital world and the physical world is very different, and we keep communicating with our students, with our kids all the time. Steps to take and avoid social media, specifically in these times, to avoid the addiction. I will take 1 minute now. First and foremost thing, I will ask everybody of you to take phones in your hand, go to notification center and stop all the notifications. The best thing, believe me, once you do it, you will feel it is the best thing you have done till date. Deactivate all the notifications of all the apps except your calling or an SMS app, which you might think as an urgent thing in your domain. Rest, everything is avoidable. You don't need the real-time update of what people are posting to you on WhatsApp. You don't need any information on what people are posting to you on Facebook or on Twitter. You can go there. You open it at your will. You open it, use it at your time when you are free or you have time to do. Go through the notifications. Notifications are going to stay there. They are not going anywhere. But if you keep on those notifications, every other minute, some or the other app will come and pop up saying that, your friend has liked you, your friend has commented. And the urge of clicking onto that button, opening the app and replying to them, that is how they are changing our human behavior. They are urging you to be on their platforms continuously. First thing, stop all those things. Once in a while, couple of times in a day, go to the app, open, look for the notifications, reply, and simply put off. Why do you want real-time things which might not be that urgent in your life? If a student is studying, will he be able to concentrate if he's continually getting notifications that 5 friends have liked my photo, 3 friends have commented on some other Instagram platform? He or she will be continually distracted, going back to the platforms again and again. Once one platform is over, WhatsApp messages of friends, WhatsApp messages of group, people will call you up, you receive the call and do. There is nothing which is textable and which is very necessary. So avoid that. Be aware of temptation. This is what it is called, temptation, tempting. Commit phone-free zones in your home. Either dinner time or lunch time, when you have a family time, commit phone-free zone. Everybody in the family, put a phone together somewhere in charging or at a place which is out of your reach. Have a gala time of your family time. Not required that a phone is necessary. Delete time consuming. Nowadays, in every phone, there is something which shows you how much time each app is consuming of yours. So delete some of them. This will either, you open your web browser, you open when you want, but delete it so that you don't continuously go back to that. Establish time limits for yourself, that how many minutes you will have a screen time on or off. Put 3 hours, 4 hours of screen time a day and don't exceed that. That's how you'll be able to control. And very important, fight the ads and recommendations. Nowadays, you look for something, you talk about something, and the ad pops up in your face. Do you want to buy this? Oh, this is 5% off. You close that. Next time you open, you get 10% off. Next time you close that, again you offer 15% off. And you feel, oh wow, 15% off, I'll buy it. That might not be required. The 15% off was just a trick to get you buy that. The price might be inflated, or what this we call in our marketing terms is remarketing. First, create interest. Second, give them offer. Third, give them even better offer. And fourth time, give them the best offer that already you have planned, and the person will buy it. Because you feel, in morning I was getting 5% off, in evening I'm getting 15% off. Let me do it right away, otherwise the offer will go away. Offer is not going anywhere. Offer is going to stay how many ever times you come and take that. So, you fight that. You have to fight with yourself that, if it is not important to you, you should not buy that. Parental tips, again, educate your children about social media. Educate your children about each platform. Tell them that what is important, good things about this platform, bad things about the platform, so that they are aware. Students these days are very much well aware, but if you educate them, they might, use it more efficiently. This is not the world where in our times people used to say, parents used to say, "Ye nahi karne ka, to hum nahi karenge." These days, child don't listen. Nahi karne ka, to we'll do it more. Instead, educate them, how to use it, and they will take it more positively. Regularly check for privacy settings. Tell your child about privacy settings of individual apps, how they can keep themselves more safe, what they can use, whether they can have a logged profile. Only friends can know more about profiles. So educate about their privacy settings. Establish an age limit in your home to, for the child to start on social media apps. For example, you might have, say, only after 5th standard or maybe after 7th standard, we will allow you to go to those apps wherein you are little bit more mature to take such decisions. Make sure they are not posting all personal details on the social media app. including phone number or addresses or real time everywhere they are, because this might bring unwanted things again. And then educating them on what to post, what not to post, how to post. If the parents inform them, they will much more be active in taking the information and acting in more mature manner. Make sure, as tell them about passwords, how strong a password should be, how they should. In our life, there was nobody to tell us, but now, since the parents are also well educated and know about things, it is good that parents only in their childhood only tells the child that password should be strong, they should not be shared. Teaching about analyzing a profile before they accept the friend request from somebody. The other person might look a hot guy or a hot girl, but no, it might be a scammer scamming you or reaching out to you with some beautiful photographs which you believe, oh wow, I've got a friend request. Not necessary. And set general guidelines of rules in your home on how much time, whether the person will be able to use the particular app, and keep in dialogue with your child all the time. Know how what is happening in his life. If he can share everything about his friends, any new friends he have got in touch with on social media, what they are talking about. So have an open dialogue all the time, so that students, if they find themselves in problem, they can reach out to you easily without thinking twice. Coming back to the kind of cyber crimes that happen is majorly around three key areas, because today as a digital citizen we use everything digitally, either be it governance services, ordering food, doing anything, everything is now digital. So when it empowers the citizens, there is also the other side wherein we see, as much as internet penetration is increasing in India, so as the cyber crime is increasing in India. We have seen great leaps and bound, increase in cybercrime rates in India as well. And this is where we all need to be aware of. What is a cybercrime? Any crime that is committed using a mobile phone, iPhone, computer, or over the web is part of cybercrime. Cybercrime involves computer, internet, electronic services, downloading illegal files, illegal movie files also is kind of a cybercrime, moving illegal money out of online bank accounts of somebody else, viruses that keeps sometimes may come to our phone, or we send, these days students learn to code. So any illegal activity that is coming on the internet is everything, and everything is part of cybercrime. Karnataka, going back to specifically Karnataka, these are some sad statistics that we see, that because digital cyber crimes are very difficult to trace, there is not much movement onto it. While the government will be trying best to bring on cyber criminals, because there are a lot of things that people are available to people to hide their identity online. So catching those cyber criminals is not that easy. Out of 20,000 registered cases in 2019, 18,600 cases are still been in investigation mode. They don't know what to do. Only 35 were completed. So believe me, if you face cyber crime, it is very tough to bring the person who has committed the crime, to justice. Make sure you avoid this in the first place. And how to avoid this? This kind of messages. This congratulations, you have won a lottery. Sometimes may be very appealing to you, specifically to the children if they get a message or a WhatsApp. And when you click on it, it might ask you to go to a bank website or Facebook website or any other personal website and ask for login credentials. The page which you open, which almost looks very similar to the real world site or the real world page, but you need to go and check the URL at the top of it, whether it has a green icon as a secured, or for example, Facebook, the spelling is correct. There might be a look-alike, what we say. Either FAC, be double OK, it might be double triple OK, or there might be double F in the beginning. That are all signs of fake websites scamming you. Email scam, similarly, you might get a lottery, online dating, or some kind of a job scam that, or you can earn money easily digitally these days, earn $1,000 every day. This kind of all the emailers that come to you are part of some or the other scam. Similarly, what we saw as SMS, which promises you free prizes, free gift card coupons with no interest, or help you to pay off loans of students. These are all kind of scam because nobody offers anything for free in this world. Please, these are some examples. Part-time jobs, earn 5,000 rupees a day, 50,000 rupees a day, just join online. This is all type of scamming you, because once you register, they will ask you a registration fee of couple of hundred. Then they will ask you another fee of couple of more thousand rupees, and then they will, as much as you get into it, they will keep taking money from you. So please be assured, there is nothing called free. There is nothing called quick money making in this real world business. Sometimes these days there are also scam calls that coming to you saying that we are calling from your bank, and your bank credit card has been upgraded and it will have 5 lakh rupees a limit, and you are very happy about it. My limit has been upgraded to, the student might be very happy, or the parent might be very happy that it's been upgraded. And then they will say, sir, certainly we just need your some of your information to do that upgrade. They might ask for an OTP, they might ask for an CVV password or something like that. Please note this: no bank will either call you to ask a password, OTP, or CVV of your card. All three of it is very personal to you and only you, and no bank has any duty about it. So similarly, any such calls that are coming to you are all scamming calls. Once you give them, the money will be siphoned off from your bank account. Be rest assured, the money is gone, and that money is very difficult to trace because it jumps multiple accounts at the same time. They have configured it all in the backend. So very important, be aware of such spam calls. What to do? You block those numbers. If you feel that it is potential harm, go and complain. There are online ways to complain about cybercrime. So go online, complain, or reach out to your nearest police station and the network service provider, so that not only you but all others are also protected. Specifically lockdown, because everybody is at home, all digital transactions are happening online. It has seen that in these times there is a lot of cybercrime that is happening online, and we just wish that you should be safe and not be part of any such crime, or also be part of victim of any such crimes in your tenure. Prevention steps: always keep your password very strong. Make sure multiple bank accounts, multiple credit cards, your password, as far as possible, your passwords should be different, so that even if one password is compromised, your other accounts are not compromised. For example, Facebook, Twitter, make sure if you can keep your password separate, because it is very easy. Once I understand that if this email ID and this password is for particular login, that could, in many of our cases, it could be that we have used same for all our other platforms. So one platform compromised, all other platforms are compromised. Password should contain alphabets, numbers, numeric numbers, which will keep hackers at the bay, because they cannot easily try and test those passwords. Never disclose your account details or any personal data to anybody. Always log out from social sites as far as possible. If you use your friend's phone, computer, or go to a public network, wherever you use, which that same PC might be used by somebody else, make sure that you don't forget to log out from your social. And never ever entertain any much debit card, credit card calls or details specific to CVV to anybody, or OTP to anybody else, because nobody will ask you about that. Delete your browsing history so that this website does not able to track you on a day-to-day basis. Because what happens is, you might have seen that if you look for flight ticket on Google, you will get the similar kind of an ads on Facebook. So these websites are tracking you, whatever you on your browser. So if you keep deleting your browsing history, new cookies will be created, or new avenues will be created wherein there will be less trackability of these websites to you. Protect your Wi-Fi, home Wi-Fi or office Wi-Fi with higher password securities, so nobody can access it easily to commit a crime. Never give your full name, address to complete strangers. If you believe that there is somebody who is asking personal details and it's of not of much utility to him, avoid giving that. Switch off your mobile Bluetooth off whenever possible, or don't accept unwanted files. If somebody is sending through Bluetooth and you might just walk in a mall or some place and you might receive a pop-up that something is being downloaded, immediately stop that or deny access to that. Never disclose your ATM PIN card numbers to anybody, even if they are telling you that they are a bank employee. They don't need your ATM password, PIN, or any card numbers for any kind of account upgrade or anything else. Email security, very important. Always have two-factor authentication on your email, so that even when somebody puts a password, there is a pop-up on your phone saying that somebody is trying to access, whether you or not. Do not open unwanted attachments or which come through you on the email. Not every email, if you feel it's not important or relevant, do not open it, let it go, because there are a lot of scammers reaching out to you. And actively check for your last login activity, so that you know that only you have logged into your account all those times. Prevention, always download any of the apps from particular Apple or Google Play Store. Do not download any app from any other website if it is not listed on the Play Store. Play Store or Apple App Store is believed to have all the checks and balances, that the app should not be a scammer app. The app should not take unwanted information from your phone. So it is very important you only download verified apps. Keep a track of data applications that the applications is consuming. If you go and see that particular application is consuming a lot more data than required, then you believe that it is taking a lot more information from your phone that is required. So very important, track your data usage very diligently. Use antiviruses in PCs and smartphones wherever possible. There are many free and good ones from reputed companies available, which will keep hackers and viruses at bay for you on a day-to-day basis. Never use internet banking on public Wi-Fi or a public place, so that your specifically these days there are a lot of free Wi-Fi hotspots available across the country. Similarly, it comes with its own challenges as well. So never use internet banking or any transaction on that. Change your password regularly. Once couple of months, you should keep changing your password. Never sign into your net banking account via emailers. If you click and directly log in, you should never do that, because that link might even take your details. Always look for HTTPS on the browser. S is very important. It's the security S out there, very important before you make any financial transaction. And never forget to log out once you are done, either on social website or on any of your banking websites. Always use banking websites official app to make all the transactions. Keep your PCs or mobile phones antivirus updated. Never use public shared computer to access specifically banking accounts. Always look for padlock during transactions. On the top, you will see that there is a lock, green color lock that is available. That's called padlock. And do not transfer funds or share to account to a non-validated source or to a person who is not validated by you in person. So these are some checks and balances on your day-to-day life you need to keep. And social media, use security questions, difficult security questions which are not very common. Avoid posting every little detail about you. Make sure all privacy settings are in place and up to date. And keep a close watch on your report on your daily activities. Last but not the least, the internet is written in pen and not in pencil. And think before you post, because it cannot be erased or deleted any time ever. It's out there, it's permanent, and once the damage is done, the damage is done. Thank you everybody for listening to me for this long presentation. I will now open the floor for questions.
So I'll take the first one before somebody else jumps in and asks their question. Devang, thank you very much for sharing some insights about social media as well as some of the prevalent scams which are there, out there, right, in the world. So we have touched upon all these scams that are there. So my question is sort of two-pronged. The first part is that what is the country, is the government working on making policies for policing these scams that are happening, one. And second, in the other side, are there any helpline numbers, or are there any forums where parents or students can go to in case they have been a victim to any of these scams or any of these social media abuse?
Hi, Rohan. It's a great question. So let me tell you specifically when it comes to cybercrime, every state has launched a particular helpline number to reach out to, a particular website to reach out to. And give me some time. In some time, I will share the details with you, which you can share with your parents in particular. With respect to Karnataka, because the school is based in Karnataka, Bangalore. So I will share you those details. Every state has their own helpline numbers. Every state has their own helpline registration. The cybercrime registration websites where you can register a cybercrime, and they will look into it.
Okay.
So there's a complete mechanism. Even the laws are evolving in this space because every day we see new type of a crime that is being committed. So laws are also evolving. The government is in complete touch with all the kinds of problems that are happening specifically in the digital domain, and they are aware and they are very much proactive onto creating the right laws to protect our citizens.
Thank you, Deva.
Thank you. Are there any more questions?
So I have one more, Devang, that I would like to. It's not necessarily a question, but sort of a thought for everybody who's joined in today. I think one thing which remains common, whether you are on social media or whether you're online or whether you're in physical or in person, is finally having your value system being good. So if you have, and if parents as well as the school and through any other medium, if we can instill good values in our children, and explain to them and make them understand the importance of having good values, then I think they will be able to make decisions on their own, and not get into any trap or do something which is not in their value system. An example of which I can narrate here is that recently there has been a cricketer from the English cricket team who has been removed from playing international cricket because of a post that he had made maybe a decade ago, where he was caught racially abusing, or the post was perceived to be racially abusive. And like you said, it's written in pen, it's not written in pencil, and you can't erase what you have put out there in the world, in the outside world. So it's very important for us, and I think Redbridge International Academy also advocates the fact that children should have good values, and that's something that has always been a core focus area for us as well.
Can I just add to what you're saying, Rohan?
Yes, sir, please.
As you said, moral climate. We have to create a moral climate. I wish for my children today to have the type of life that I had growing up in the 50s and 60s. As a matter of fact, I wanted to make those comments earlier, but I I took a back seat today. But let me just add, most parents keep an eye on the food that their children eat. They encourage them to fuel their bodies with a healthy, balanced diet. However, many families fail to monitor their children's media intake with the same diligence. Media characters often engage in unhealthy behaviors. I don't want to name them. Parents should be just as concerned about the media their children consume as the food that they eat, and ensure that the children follow a healthy diet insofar as what they consume on media. It's very important, because if the parents don't do that, we are going to see anxiety and depression and suicides grow so rapidly in the next decade. It would be just unbelievable.
I think it's a very fair point that you're making, Mr. Brown, that it is not only about the food that we eat, but it's also about what we consume through our eyes and ears, in the present generation. This is something that is only going to grow. The interaction with our devices is only going to become more and more in the near future. And maybe it's a very cliched statement to make, but it is always going to be about prevention rather than cure. And if we can build a good, healthy environment, or the climate, the word Mr. Brown used, a climate, for children to grow, then I think we would have all been successful citizens and successful parents, and successful educators. So I think, that's something that we should all focus at doing, immediately.
Yeah. And another point that Devang made is for teachers to be very alert. I always believe that whenever a child didn't behave in a manner which was appropriate, I always believe that there was something that was influencing that behavior. It was not the child, definitely not the child. It was either the home environment, the parent, the teacher itself, or their peers that were causing the problem. And I never, ever took it out on the child for their bad behavior. I always investigated. I always tried to find out what it was that was making this baby behave so abnormally. And I invariably was able to track the problem. So my prayer to my teachers today is always be sharing, encourage your children to share, sharing, to care, show them that you love them and that you are there always to help them, and give them all the time that you can. Because most often our children today, of course, it's different, they are at home, but most often the children spend so much of time with us, and if we don't give them that time, then I think we are failing as educators. So that is my prayer to my teachers. Thank you, Deva.
Devang, there's just one other thing. I think maybe this is the right forum to discuss this as well. We would like to work very closely with you to actually see if we can set up, a platform where especially children, who have, difficulties or face cybercrime or face some kind of an abuse, cyberbullying or any of those things, to have a platform for them to reach out to. So, it is something that Redbridge International Academy would like to do. And, we would like to do it with your support, and, we would like to take that step forward. So, maybe in the near future, we should sit and engage ourselves to find a platform for them to, to find a way to vent out the challenges that they.
Definitely, it's a very good and noble thought, because I have been in touch with a lot of young generation people, and they have nowhere to go, because they believe that if they go to their parents, they'll have another issues to deal with. If they go to their friends, they might bully them again on the same thing. So finding an approach where they can share their heart out and tell that, yes, this is the problem and I want a solution. It's absolutely a need of the hour. And let me tell you, as far as we go further in this decade, this is a real problem that the world is going to face.
I absolutely agree.
There has to be a place to vent it out. So we shall discuss and take this ahead, and how we can have a platform for this.
Thank you, Devang.
Devang, there's one question on the chat box. Many online gaming apps offer children to work with them. Is there a way or portal to verify these gaming apps as genuine?
See, very beautiful questions. There are 2 or 3 ways to verify whether the gaming app is part on your official Google or Apple Play Store. Please make sure that app has to be there on the official store. Then only it could be a part of an official app. Secondly, be assured that whether it is asking your students or your child to pay up for something. This is a very recent example that I will tell you. I think I have only read it about yesterday, that somewhere in UK, the child spent about 1,000 euro in couple of hours in such kind of a gaming app, and the parents had no information till the credit card got blocked. And then they had to sell off their car to pay those dues. They have now written it to the police and even to the gaming app to refund them the money if possible, because it was done, or the app was not appropriate for that the age to be used, wherein we had any knowledge that what the repercussions are. So please, no gaming app will ever ask you money if they have to work with you. Instead, they will have to pay you money for the same. So if there is anything that is asking you money, it's a red flag. So the couple of checks and balances: go look out for an official website, look out for an official media interactions, if they have any media mentions or not, and then carefully work with them.
Okay. Any other last questions from Mr. Brown or Mr. Agarwal?
The good news is that I just said the parents should be sensitized. Please remember that whenever anything goes wrong, we can always desensitize. And because everything happens here, which is like plastic, we can also resensitize. So there is good news. It's just left up to us, our involvement with our children, both as educators and as parents, that our children have to be guided. Nothing has changed there. Our children have to be shown the way. Don't think just because the information is available on social media, just leave them to their own. No, definitely not. The parent and the educator is still as important in the lives of those children as they have always been down the ages. As I always maintained, when I grew up, my parents were my tuition teachers and my gurus, and my grandparents were my gods. So if we can continue in that vein, I think the future need not be as disastrous as we are imagining it would be. I don't have anything more to say except to say thank you to Devang. It was very, very informative, and we must interact with you at least as soon as we get back on offline, and get you to speak to our children and try to guide us in the days and years ahead. Thank you so much.
Definitely, Mr. Brown, this would have been much more great conversation if we were all in physical domain.
Yeah.
But then, the times it will be there, and I'll be definitely happy to come down there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I would just like to add one point. While we always discuss in forums about the negative impact of social media, we can't forget that the reason social media has become so big and so prevalent in our lives is because some of the positives that it also brings. I was recently reading an article where it said that the information about an earthquake in New Zealand that information travel took exactly 10 seconds for it to reach across the other half of the globe, in the US. And that information travel just helped that family connect with the family in New Zealand. So there are a lot of positives like this, and hence it has become so prevalent in our lives. Everything comes with certain responsibilities and certain challenges, and as a society, as a group, we have to tackle this. And like Mr. Brown said, as parents and as educators, we have to continue to support our children in this new aspect, or relatively new aspect, that's there in the world at the moment. So I hope parents have got some information which was very, very useful for them. And based on this, they can implement some of the challenges that they may face at their homes. So thank you, Devang, once again for delivering such an informative presentation. And we definitely look forward to you speaking to our students when schools start in physical, and we're hoping that will be soon. So thank you once again.
Thank you, everybody.
We have a few questions. Do you suggest we take them up, or are we running short of time?
No, I'm sure we can take a couple more, Raghavendra.
Okay. They're on the chat box, so I'll go one by one. Many online social media platforms and online games have ads. How do we know if these are genuine?
See, ads are part of their revenue model. Whenever you play a game which is free of cost to a person to use that, they will make revenue from the ads that they show. Now, these ads could be of any domain. It could be of official websites. It could be of unofficial websites. It could be scamming ads, because scammers also run ads to reach out to you. So it is very important that whenever you click, or if you are going to purchase anything, you verify that particular website individually couple of times before making the purchase, especially if you are buying something. If you are just browsing it, be it any website, make sure it is not collecting any information from you. It is not asking you to upload anything or put into your too much of a personal detail or information about your credit card or your bank account. And till that it is safe, it will just come, pop up, you close it down, it will go off.
Okay, sir. The next question. Children as old as 4 to 5 years are now exposed to social media due to parents being home in lockdown. My child knows Facebook and WhatsApp. How much of social media exposure can get a child addicted to it?
See, in our house, this is a very good question. Nowadays, if you see, when even the child is even 1 to 3 year old, what we do is whenever a relative is video calling, we give them the phone and say, okay, talk on a video phone. It is fancy for us and even fancy for the people on the other side that they are interacting with these small kids. But what in the other side is they are also learning how to use this. So there is no particular way to say whether addiction or de-addiction. It is just that you update the child, you educate the child on what is right and what is wrong and how they have to use it, because we will not be able to stop this. It is better we educate them on the positive sides and make them aware of the negative sides, and I am sure that will have a much more better impact, because technology is need of the day. Technology they will use, and just if they are aware, they will be away from the negative things.
Absolutely right.
Okay, sir. Just one more question then. If we want to remove all data collected from us by social media, how do we go about that?
So individual, whatever social media profiles you have collected, you will have to go to their settings. In their settings, you will have to delete your account permanently, but make sure that even deleting account permanently does not ensure that the social media platforms will delete all your data from your mobile phone. So, there is no way to tell that 100% data is gone, but yes, new collection of data will stop. Many of your information might get deleted or not be in public domain, but the social media platform will keep it for themselves for future whenever you get reactivated on that website. So there is nothing called permanent deletion. And specifically on your mobile phones, look into your app settings that which are the apps which are taking your location data, which are your apps which are taking any more information about you which might not be required, which there might be apps that you use once in a while, but they're taking your location data every day. Why do they need it? So you can individually stop those access, and you can give as and when you utilize that app. So that's how you can prevent your theft of your data.
Right. Thank you, Devang. So I now invite our dynamic head of admissions here at Redbridge, Ms. Tracy Menzel, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we bring the curtain down on this very successful and informative program, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for your presence and contribution in making this webinar a great success. I sincerely thank the keynote speaker and resource person, Mr. Devang Dave, and express our deep sense of appreciation to him. We are thankful to our chairman, Mr. Rohan Agrawal, and the principal, Mr. Christopher Brown, for their contribution and direction. A special thanks to Ms. Sumita Datta and the organizing committee, in particular, Mr. Raghavendra Ashok, the master of ceremonies, the teachers and the administration staff for all their support and excellent coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to all the parents for their active participation. Before we say good night, I would also like to once again remind you of another wonderful initiative and outreach program that Redbridge International Academy has organized for the beautiful but less fortunate of our children. The event is called Donathon. The video that follows will express and portray to you what it's all about. Good evening and God bless.
Over 2 million children live on the streets, with no shelter, no healthcare, no education, and no proper meals. Redbridge International Academy brings to you Donathon, an opportunity for you to bridge the gap. Donathon is a unique initiative to reach out to these children in need by being a bridge between the privileged and the underprivileged. This drive focuses on collecting your generous donations and donating it to the needy children. Your donations will help to facilitate their education and help them to become good citizens. Donate what you don't use: clothes in good condition, linen, textbooks, toys, and other things that you have no use for. But these things are a distant dream to the underprivileged. Let's put a smile on every face.